Okay, folks, thank you so much for joining us today. We have Leslie Lucas here from the College Swimming Consulting and Lisa Pizzuto, who is an expert on college swimming, and she is one of our team members, management team members at Fluid Mechanics. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's go ahead. Today, we're going to be talking about there's a school for every swimmer. And Leslie, I want you to start off. We'll go ahead with you and see what you have to say about that.
Yeah, I'm often approached by swimmers and mostly their parents saying, I'm not sure Johnny's going to be able to swim in college because he's not quite fast enough to swim in state, and we can't afford to go out of state. And that's such a fallacy. I want to get that message out more so than anything, that if you're willing to go a little bit further out of state or not necessarily swim Division I, there is definitely a school out there for everyone. You may look at a private school and say, oh, that tuition's way too high, and it may be Division III, so they don't offer academics or athletic scholarships, but you'd be floored at the amount of merit aid that's available to these students. So that's what I do, is I help them find where they fit both athletically and academically, and then also where it might fit their budget best.
Got it. And I was talking to actually a college coach recently in a school in New Jersey, and I was asking him, and he was saying, I said, who are you looking for? And he said, we're looking for swimmers. He says, I'm building my team. I'm looking for swimmers. I want to build my team up. And it's a great opportunity for kids to go on and swim. And it's a great school too. So Lisa, on your side, how do you see that from being a college coach? I know there's, right, you'll recruit like a certain target or set of kids, right? But there's other schools, right, for swimmers to go to.
For sure. I'm always amazed, Leslie, you said it best, like when people are thinking, Johnny's not fast enough, you're never going to be able to swim in school. Again, that's if they want to go to the best Division I schools, perhaps that's the case. But there's so much range in all the divisions, really, where, most swimmers can swim. It's the matter of putting it together, the academic piece, the swimming piece, and then the social piece to make sure that they're happy where they're going. And that's really important. What I always found was if a swimmer was miserable at the university that they were at, nothing was going to go right. They weren't going to be swimming well. They weren't going to be doing well in the classroom. If they didn't want to be there, that wasn't going to matter. So having a good fit is super important, but there's so many opportunities out there to have, swimming at every level in each of the divisions. So some of the, Division I schools aren't, the swimmers aren't any faster than the Division III schools. And actually some of the Division III schools, they have swimmers who are Division I swimmers who just are in Division III. So, there's a multitude of schools out there for every swimming ability. You got to remember too, that swimming, recruiting is a two-way street, right? Just because a coach wants you to come to their program, doesn't that necessarily mean that that's the program that you should go to and go to that university. It has to be a good fit for you. So you as the college recruit, who's going out there and looking at schools, you are shopping just as much as the coaches. And so it's important to recognize that right off the bat. Just because a program wants you doesn't mean that you have to go there unless it's a good fit for you. I keep looking until you find one that you're like excited about, and that's going to be a great fit for you. And this way you will excel while you're there.
And right. that's one of the things that Leslie does for our swimmers, and right, is you help them shop. Is that right?
Yeah. And I was also going to say along those lines that, you may, the recruit really needs to think about also what it's going to be like once they get there. So you may have dreams of going to the big Division I Power 5 school, and you may actually be fast enough to go there. But once you get there, are you really going to be swimming very much? So, you have to think about, I want to be part of that conference team. I want to be part of that travel roster. Well, then maybe that school isn't exactly the right fit for you. You may want to look at a school that's maybe not as big of a program, so that you can be on the conference roster and you can final at the conference meet. So you want to make sure that what you like about swimming is going to come to fruition once you get to college. So that's where I help them find where they're going to be fitting best within the team.
Understanding that swimming experience that they're looking for. I think, Lisa, you've always talked about that, right? Making sure you're going to have a good experience.
Good experience. There's an old adage that says, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it, right? And so sometimes what you think you want or what other people want, becomes what you want. And that's really not what you wanted. So again, we're going back to make sure you start getting the understanding of who you are and what will make you happy. And the sooner you start doing that process, nobody wants to think about it when they're 8th, 9th, 10th grade. They're like, yeah, whatever. That's growing up thinking. But the more you start like looking inward and reflecting on what it is that's going to make you happy with your college experience, the better fit you're going to have. And honestly, the smoother your process for, looking at schools and that whole recruitment process is going to be. So the sooner you do that, the better. And so if you're young and you're watching this, start to really take an evaluation. And Leslie talks about it. I think it's the first category in the college pipeline that I wrote was, do an assessment of yourself and make sure you know what you're looking for that's going to make you happy, because that's really what it comes down to.
That college pipeline that you wrote, Lisa, is so beneficial because it leads them step by step, understanding, like, so you don't get in the middle of it. You don't have to search all over. It's right there for you. And Leslie, you use that, I think, to guide our swimmers through and help. So if you're a coach and you have swimmers, this is one of the things that you want to make sure they have in 8th grade or any time after 8th grade. Make sure that you connect with Leslie, with Lisa through our company. I think it'll really, really help your kids get on track. It's not expensive and it's fantastic. Thank you guys so much for your information.
Thank you.
If you would like more information about college swimming consulting, please click the link below to get in touch with Leslie Lucas, who will personalize your recruiting experience for you and help you find the school for you.